go.
Thanks, Chris. I'm just going to test my sound. First of all, we're not making a Redux tonight, so if any of you have bought your Regency costumes expecting to make a costume drama in the streets, we're not doing it today. That's not to say it won't happen in the future. This one, of The Matrix in Sydney, was very popular because of this audacious moment we attempted to freeze time, which works really well, except for that pedestrian there. Ruins the effects completely. And soon I plan to make a Redux. I've been saying that for years. I made no Reduxes in 2020. 2020 was a hiatus year for the Redux project. So it's very nice to be here in this gallery. This is not a shop. We've established that it used to be a Mark Wallace tuxedo shop. Does anyone know different? If so, this is the second time that I've made work in a tuxedo shop, so I don't know what that means. Dear Richard, I was at Mimfest in 2011 and was intrigued by the dog in the pushchair. This is from Wendy Matthews at the Bath Fringe. Here's how the performance was done, if you haven't figured it out. It was one of those pushchairs that's got a second seat beneath it. Phil and Ted, I think, make these pushchairs. The bottom seat is only rated for up to a 2-year-old. So I was delighted. That was me down the bottom there. These emails with Wendy predate the Redux project. It hadn't officially started, although I had done some tests. I didn't have the footage, hadn't seen the film for about 10 years. I can't speak French, so this is kind of the first kind of proto Redux, if you like. Où est l'étudier? Où est la tombe? Okay, anyway, so that was the first one, and I was amazed by how similar-ish it looked, even though it was just shot on a phone. And this bit wasn't in the film. I just added that because it was quite a boring scene. At the time, I thought, what am I going to do with this? This is interesting. Maybe I'll try and remake scenes from all of Matt Damon's films in a project that I was going to call. By 2013, we were still chatting, me and Wendy, and I said, maybe you're aware of my Redux project, and I explained what it was, and that I'd launched it in February in Bangkok, and maybe I could bring it to Bath. And at the time, because in the early Reduxes, I thought it was important that I was in them. So in the first two, I'm playing like the female lead, running in heels, it was dangerous. And so at the time when I emailed Wendy about this, I said, yeah, I'll be playing the Duchess. And we got to about 3 days before the filming, which was supposed to be June the 1st, 2013. And then 3 days before it was supposed to happen, we decided to postpone it until May 2014 instead. Liz, hello Liz Lavender, how are you? Sitting in the back, trying looking conspicuous. Can you remember why we had to postpone it for a year? Neither can I. And we were almost there, so it just seems really weird. I know we had to, I think maybe...
Was it other filming that was going on?
Maybe they had another booking at the last minute.
It was another booking?
Yeah, I think that was it. And we couldn't compete with that level of fee that they were paying, I think. So it got postponed for a year. It was amazing. I completely forgot about that until the other day when I was looking through all the emails. It almost didn't happen, but it did happen. How many of you have seen The Duchess? Yes. Weirdly, Bath was not the first Redux of The Duchess that I made. We didn't ask permission to film this, we just wandered into Somerset House, did it all in one take, and then we were chased out by security. Yeah, we didn't have any horses, but we found some cow masks. Annoyingly, there was an ice rink in the middle of I'd forgotten about the ice rink. So that was the first version of the Duchess Redux, which was useful in a way, because I still had the wig. Let's do the same again in Bath. Here we go.
Get away from London, and all of London has come away to Bath.
We filmed that in about 2 hours. Teresa's nodding her head. This is Teresa at the back who played Lady Elizabeth Foster. Thank you for coming tonight. And Liz Lavender at the end. There we go, look at that. And then 2 days later we premiered it at the Love Lounge in Bath. Is that still a place?
Yeah.
Good. Here's some behind the scenes footage. And action! I had to do some digital sky replacement. Fatina's in it. She was putting me up for 2 nights. The other way, sorry. That's good, yeah. So it's a thankless task being directed by me. I don't know what I'm doing. I've got no formal training in this. I don't know. There's Aaron with his candles. It was a cardboard candelabra, and then I sellotaped some of those little battery-operated candles to the top. Candle down, please. That's lovely. Action. So we had an amazing cast of people. I've spoken to some of them. Sarah, who played the Duchess, she mentioned that she didn't have pierced ears, so we actually hung the earrings off her wig, which I'd forgotten about. Also, her beauty spot was made from a bit of black gaffer tape. That's how I do my beauty spots as well, actually. The earrings that the Duchess was wearing belonged to Carmen. She brought them with her. And Carmen was a bit disappointed that she didn't get to play the Duchess. Quite a lot of people said that, actually. Everybody wanted to be the Duchess, and there could only be one Duchess. Originally, I was going to be the Duchess, so, at least that didn't happen. She also mentioned that quite a few people had their trousers on still underneath their dresses, which I think is very practical. Liz was very mean. She said, obviously, we all wanted to be Kira, but most were not svelte gormless looking enough. Which I think it's a very rude thing to say about Keira Knightley. Teresa's got amazing red hair in this picture. I asked some other people to send some photos of what their hairdos were like now. Carmen has also got red hair. Between that and the 2 tuxedo shops, I suspect all this is a weird dream. These are all different stages of acting that she learned at Philippe Gaulier and Lecoq. I don't really know what it means, but I was deeply impressed by that work, and it's a shame really that she didn't get to show that off in the Redux. It's very short and quite boring, so I'll show that to you now. Now this is what happened to the wig. After the 2 Duchesses, it showed up again on BBC 4. Royalties can be a nightmare. There it is! That's the same wig, ladies and gentlemen. Which brings us to Bridgerton. I was thinking, it'd be nice to go back to Bath. I wonder what else is filmed in Bath. And sometimes just by planting the seed into people's minds, it can make a Redux happen. You never seen Bridgerton? No. I hadn't seen it until last night when I binge watched the first 5 episodes. So you could do that in preparation. A lot of the street scenes, in fact, like the first 3 shots in episode 1, is Bath. The Holborn Museum's in at the Guildhall, the Assembly Rooms. I visited some of these places earlier, actually.
Isn't there a rule though that if you don't have a tripod, you can't get charged? It's only if you have a tripod that is on the ground.
Yeah, I think like in a public place, yeah. But not in a private. You can't just go into someone's house and say, I haven't got a tripod. That would be amazing if you could do that. Well, I think that's true, and that's what we do a lot of the time in the streets. We just film it a little bit guerrilla style. The main problem would be in places like Trim Street where there's car parking. We'd have to film around the cars or remove the cars in post-production using some kind of special digital technique. Nicolas Cage used to live in Bath.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, here are some locations from Bridgerton. I'm sure you know them all. Some that I visited on the way from the station this afternoon. That's Bath Street, Lady D's Hat Emporium, I think, Modista, the frock shop. And weirdly, the cinema shows up not in Bridgerton but in an animated film. Did you know this? Fantastic Mr. Fox. The yellow lines, I think, are the most iconoclastic thing that they left. They decided to change a little modern twist. A book has come out, which I got a copy of, just because it's very interesting. I think that film tourism is becoming such a big thing now. I often get the word Bridgerton confused with the word Bickerton. Replaced the word Bickerton with Bridgerton, and the people riding on the bikes are wearing full Regency dresses. Bridgerton. Okay, good. All right, I'm glad you're all on board with that. The next Redux will happen in Cambridge. So if anyone knows of anything exciting that I should Redux in Cambridge, do let me know. Ideally, I'm looking for something that was filmed around Cambridge railway station, which I've yet to find, but I'm sure exists. These Gothic ornamental holes have been casting phallocentric shadows now for 159 years. I've got a tiny little book about the Redux project, which I can't give away because it's my only copy. So thank you so much for coming. We've got 10 minutes if anyone wants to have any questions or anything like that. Thank you.
How are you going to do the VR?
This is quite lo-fi virtual reality in a location in a city where several films overlap, and you can have them intersecting each other.
Do you ever get any feedback from this?
Keira Knightley has yet to give any feedback on the Duchess Redux. It does happen sometimes.
What have you learned from doing it?
Well, I was hoping that by doing this it would give me all the skills necessary to be a film director. Although I don't think I have learnt that at all. If you've not figured it out, the top is the original, mine's at the bottom. We'll see what happens. Anyway, I hope to see you all in Bath soon for that as yet completely speculative Bridgerton Redux. Thank you. Let's take a picture. Just so that I remember.